I moved to San Francisco. I'm in the tech industry, and he's a sous chef. So when I stopped into his restaurant, we met. He made me a special order, and we fell in love rather quickly. We were together for about a year, and we unexpectedly had Cassie.
Okay.
The stress of life just got in the way of us and our relationship. Our communication started to dwindle, and he wanted to quit and move to the countryside, whereas I didn't want that lifestyle. So we've decided to co-parent.
Okay. Well, I got to be here anyway. What happens that brings you to court?
Last summer, I dropped her off at her dad's. She was going to spend the summer there, and I got a call the very next day that she was inconsolable and that he had tried to do all her favorite things and nothing was working. I had asked what had happened, and he had let me know that he had killed and eaten her pet chicken.
Okay. Dad?
Your Honor, it's not a pet. It's a chicken. It's livestock. I moved out to the country, and I took on a couple of chickens so that I could use them to lay eggs, and I can use them in the restaurant as I'm cooking for myself. It's never meant to be a pet.
Okay, but so your daughter's 8, and did your daughter think it was a pet, do you think?
When I first got introduced to her, I said it was livestock. I mean, she was 5 when she first met Ziggy, who's the chicken.
Ziggy, you named it? You can't name it. Once you name it, you can't eat it.
He let her
Hold
name
on
it.
a second, ma'am. Did she name all the chickens?
She named a few of them.
Okay.
Ziggy's
And was
the
she
one to stand out.
particularly close to Ziggy?
Ziggy was her favorite.
All right. Well, okay. I hesitate here. You've chosen to bring your daughter to court, and I'm not sure what light she can shed on me coming to my conclusion, but you're the parent. Cassie, can I ask you some questions? Mm-hmm. Tell me about Ziggy.
Ziggy was my first pet. I have a picture with Ziggy.
Okay, can I see it?
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. So that's you and Ziggy?
Yes.
Would Ziggy let you, Ziggy's a girl again. Would Ziggy let you hold her?
Yes, Ziggy would let me hold her
Okay.
and feed her.
How much time would you spend with Ziggy during the summer?
I spent a lot of time with Ziggy.
What happened when you went that last summer to your dad's and Ziggy wasn't there? What did your dad say?
He said, well, like, he killed Ziggy for food. And that
Are those the words he used, or is that, ma'am, you weren't there. Can you not coach your daughter?
Sure.
Okay. Do you remember the actual words that Daddy used, or no?
I don't remember.
Okay. But the impression you got was that he ate Ziggy.
Yes.
Okay. And what was your reaction when that happened?
I was really sad.
And did you tell him that?
And yes.
Did he look like he felt bad?
I don't think so.
What was he saying to you?
Well, he tried to play some of my favorite songs or play favorite games, to change the subject, but
Yeah,
I was
adults
still
try to do that
really
a lot,
sad.
change the subject, right? Did he explain why Ziggy died?
I don't know.
So, Mr. Gomez, can you explain, the decision?
Well, Your Honor, Ziggy stopped producing eggs.
Right.
And
So
it was
Ziggy
end of
no
her life
longer
cycle.
played a role as a functioning livestock in the
Yep.
farm.
So
Do you have any other animals besides the chickens?
Right now, it's just the chickens, Your Honor.
Okay. Can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
Is this your only child?
This is my only
How'd you
child.
think this was going to go?
Your Honor, I've cooked her chicken dishes from the chickens on my property before, and she's
Was it
never
any
had
that
any
she
issues.
had named?
No.
We have to tell her we ate Ziggy?
Probably not, Your Honor.
No, probably we could have said that Ziggy was in that farm in the sky and met its natural demise and just moved on, right? So my question to you is, why were you so explicit with her? Did you think that, it's time she understand farming?
Well, Your Honor, the chicken, us ending up eating it, it's part of the life cycle. You live, you die, you
Get eaten.
Get eaten somehow, yes, Your Honor.
Worm
and
food.
I didn't think that, I thought if I explained it in a very realistic and matter-of-fact type manner, that she'd understand the process. Again, it's not the first
Okay.
livestock that she's eaten that I've prepared for her.
Did it ever occur to you to call your co-parent and say, before your daughter comes, hey, she had this favorite chicken.
No, Your Honor.
Did you see Ziggy as a pet?
I did not see Ziggy as a pet.
Did you see that your daughter saw Ziggy as a pet?
She would refer to it as a pet, I assume.
Oh, if she referred to it as a pet, then you see that she saw Ziggy as a pet, right?
Your Honor, like the child...
Listen, it's your chicken. You can do whatever you want to your chicken. I'm just saying, if you know how she's going to react, why wouldn't you either speak to your co-parent and say, is this a good time to explain the life cycle of animals and farming, or not do that and just sugarcoat it so that you don't have to deal with, you don't have to upset her?
Well, Your Honor, so it was put on the spot. Like all of a sudden she went looking for Ziggy, and all of a sudden she couldn't find Ziggy, and...
Well, no, you got to be straight that Ziggy's no longer with us. You just don't have to be straight that Ziggy was delicious, right? Like maybe that we don't have to do. You know what I mean?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mom, what happens? You get a call that she's inconsolable. You drive over there, and what?
Yes, and he was right. She was inconsolable. I tried talking with him, but our communication styles are very different. And so I decided to bring her home. And when none of the normal techniques or tools I have on my belt worked, I decided to take her to a child specialist. She saw a child specialist for 2 months, and I have really great insurance that we're both under that covered the deductible, but I'm here today.
Covered everything but the deductible. And you're suing for the deductible.
I'm suing for the deductible of $1,200.
Did you, as a co-parent, call your co-parent and say, I think she needs therapy. We need to agree how we're going to pay for this?
Yes. We've had many conversations over the phone, and I brought proof of text messages as well between us.
Where you told him after the fact that he owed you the money.
I told him ahead of time that...
Oh, you told him ahead of time? You have texts that show you told him ahead of time? Hand them to me.
She just said that she was getting it done. It's not that I agreed to anything.
I'm taking Cassie to see a children's specialist. She is not getting over Ziggy, and I am worried. I think you're overreacting about this. There is never a good time to learn about the cycle of life, but Cassie will move on from it. I don't think therapy will help. All right. So it sounds like when was her first therapy session?
It was in July last year.
Yeah. So it sounds like she did tell you beforehand. You don't object. You just say, I think you're overreacting. I don't think therapy will help. Look, I know that you didn't intend harm, but Cassie has been in therapy since the summer. This all started because of you. I think you need to pay for it. My insurance covered a lot, but there's a deductible. Your answer. I told you, this is in September, I told you I didn't think it was necessary when she started, and I believe that now. Of course, I didn't mean to hurt Cassie with the news of Ziggy, but I think she would have recovered fine without spending thousands. I'm sorry, but I'm not paying. Wow, you put me in a rough position with Cassie here. So Cassie, did it help to talk to the therapist?
It did.
Okay, why? What did the therapist say that made you feel better?
They're like, all pets pass away, and that Ziggy's probably in a better place now, and that helped.
In pet heaven? Is there a pet heaven? Like, what's the better place?
Yeah, basically pet heaven.
Okay. All right. You two will get my message as I speak to Cassie. Cassie. Your parents both love you very, very much. You know that, right?
Yes, I do.
And parents are trying to do the right thing, but sometimes it may or may not be the right thing for you. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when a chicken stops laying eggs, it is not unusual for a farmer to decide that the chicken's usefulness on the farm, however small that farm is over. I don't think your daddy should have explained it to you quite that way, but your daddy's not lying. That is kind of what farm life is like. So maybe your daddy should have said it a different way that wouldn't upset you, but I don't think your daddy knew it would upset you that much. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Your mom decided to take you to a doctor, which is lovely if that helped you and that worked. But the only thing Judge Milian has to do is decide if there was a prior agreement between dad and mom for dad to help pay for it, which has really nothing to do with whether it's a good idea, whether daddy's a good parent, whether your parents love you, all the important things it has nothing to do with, right? Mm-hmm. You know that daddy loves you, right?
Yeah.
I know mommy brought you to stand next to her during the trial, right? Right, but you love daddy too, right?
He is a great father.
Okay.
He does.
Can we just do something just so I feel better? Do you want to go ahead and hug your daddy?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's just do that, and then you can go back by your mommy, and all's good. And you know, Daddy knows he's got some practicing to do in the daddy department on some things, you know, right, Daddy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and mommy, when I understand that you're taking the lion's share of the expenses. It is something that you decided to do. We have a forum for that. It's called family court. If you want somebody to share in the expenses, you can go to family court and say, I want child support because I am carrying the laboring oar here. So putting aside whether he should recognize that and pay the $1,200, I have to decide if he has a legal obligation to. Not if he has a moral obligation to, but if he has a legal obligation to. And the only way he would have that is if there was some court order saying he has to share in the expenses that you decide are going to be incurred that may or may not be medically necessary. She ended up in therapy because you felt it was a good idea for her. She did not end up in therapy because he did this awful thing to her that scarred her for life. It was inadvisable. You know, I don't like the way he handled it, but I also don't like the way the adults handled it. The summers are his time. And I would have driven up there. I would have consoled her. I might have spent a few days there to make sure she was okay. And then we went on with our summer. You know, children are sponges. They're like tofu. They take the taste of the other ingredients. They take their cues from you. So all of a sudden, summer is suspended. Is it any wonder that Cassie got more and more upset? What I have is a contracts case in front of me. It's a contracts case. Did he ever obligate himself to help pay for it? And he didn't by those texts. And is there a court order that obligates him? And there is no court order because you've all been, you know, it's been working up to now. So my suggestions to you is either you go to court and get a court order about expenses, or if it doesn't matter to you that much, and actually you can even go to a lawyer and have something written up and not even go to court about expenses. But I am not going to order him to pay for something that he did not agree beforehand to pay for. That's what I'm saying. Now, having said that, you lost your whole summer with your daughter.
And that was probably the most
Well, is
valuable.
it? Because I didn't see you do anything about it, did you, Daddy? Right.
You're not wrong, Your Honor.
Right. You know, the kids don't decide where they spend the summer. They spend it where we think is best for them. And we have always thought the summers with Dad was a big bonding time. It shouldn't have changed over this. All right? I am ruling in favor of the defendant, but I hope that my words have given you guys something more to think about. Because I know one thing beyond and to the exclusion of every doubt, and it's that both of you love that little girl very, very much.
Most definitely.
Right?
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Friends, I am honestly struggling to keep my lunch down after watching this case. We just witnessed a level of cold-blooded, narcissistic behavior that is beyond anything I have ever seen in this courtroom. Let's talk about Mr. Gomez, the heartless dad of the year. This man literally took a living creature, a pet that his 8-year-old daughter had loved and bonded with for 3 years, and he killed it and ate it. And then he had the absolute audacity to stand in front of Judge Milian and say it was just livestock. Sir, you let that little girl name that chicken Ziggy. You watched her hold it, feed it, and treat it like her first pet. Any person with a shred of empathy knows the golden rule. Once you name an animal, you don't put it on a dinner plate. But Gomez didn't care about his daughter's heart. He only cared about his stomach and his ego. He waited until she came for her summer visit, a time that's supposed to be for bonding, to tell her that her best friend was delicious. That isn't teaching the life cycle of farming. That is psychological warfare against your own child. The way he described it in court made my skin crawl. He sat there and said, Ziggy stopped producing eggs, so she was no longer useful. Imagine being a child and hearing that your value to your father is only based on what you can produce. If you stop being useful, is he going to discard you too? It is a terrifying message to send to a developing mind. He tried to change the subject with songs and games, but you can't play hide and seek with trauma. You can't mask the smell of betrayal with a special order from a sous chef's kitchen. And let's talk about the mother, Ms. Flores. While I commend her for taking the child to a specialist, why are we in court over a $1,200 deductible? This little girl is clearly being used as a pawn between two parents who can't communicate. The mother brought the child into the courtroom to stand there and listen to her father admit he ate her pet. Do you realize the damage you are doing to her by making her relive that moment for a television audience? Both of these adults failed this child today. I am frustrated that the law couldn't force this man to pay for the therapy, but I agree with the judge's moral assessment. Mr. Gomez, you have a lot of practicing to do in the daddy department. You might be a great chef, but you are a failure as a protector. You broke your daughter's trust for a chicken dinner. You chose a meal over a lifetime of loyalty from your only child. My final take? If you're a parent, your primary job is to protect your child's sense of wonder and safety. The world will take that away soon enough. You don't need to speed up the process by being a monster at the dinner table. Gomez learned nothing today, and sadly, Cassie learned that her father's hunger is more important than her tears. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Was the father just being a realistic farmer, or was he a total villain for eating his daughter's pet? And was the mother right to bring the child to court? Let me know below. Hit that like button and subscribe for more courtroom reality checks. Until next time, watch who you trust with your heart and your pets.